Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hey, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 316, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. My name is Joe.
My name is Eric.
Hello, Eric.
Hello, Joe.
Welcome to the podcast.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for having me on. Every week we are guests on each other's podcasts.
It's weird that both of our podcasts are named the exact same thing.
It's weird, but also it's like white noise, where we just recorded them both at the same time. It works out really well.
It really
and
does,
we always coordinate what the topic is.
We've been doing it for 316 episodes exactly.
Before that, we also both had separate podcasts called League Night.
Right, yep.
Which was very strange.
I guess we should someday think about just joining forces and merging them.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I feel like we got a good thing going here.
Alright, yeah, why screw it up after this so long?
Exactly. We've got this down perfectly.
Consummate professionals.
Damn right.
Us.
Oh, how are you?
Oh, I'm okay, I guess.
Yeah?
Yeah. Did not realize that this movie was going to be this long.
I did not either, and I've seen it already. I do not remember it being almost 3 hours long.
I was at my girlfriend's house yesterday, and we started watching something on Disney. And while she was looking for it, somebody in her household had started watching Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
And so, and when I say started, I mean, like, I think they, like, accidentally hit play and then immediately stopped it.
Okay.
Because it said 2 hours and 40 minutes remaining. And
yikes.
I saw that, and I was just like, wait, what the fuck?
That can't be right.
Yeah, I was like, that movie's not that long, no way. And then she looked, and yes, it is exactly that long.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I'm fucked tomorrow.
Well, I know you broke up your viewing with a short nap, so hopefully that helped.
It did. It's weird because, like, seeing Avengers Endgame in the theater was, a 3-hour affair.
Yeah.
And that runtime didn't bother me. So, like, I'm capable of watching a long movie.
Right.
But I feel like when I'm at home, or perhaps even just for the show, I'm not sure. Like, it just feels like an excessive amount of time to devote to watching a movie.
I understand that, honestly. It's like binge watching a TV show. Like we watched 4 episodes of a show, of the Black Panther show, for this podcast tonight. It's very strange.
And yet, I can binge watch a show and, like, not even think about it.
Well, sure. Because there are natural breaks built in there.
That is true. Yeah, that does help.
Maybe this movie needed an intermission.
Yeah, it would have been nice, I guess. You had texted me to tell me that you did not realize that this was such a long movie, and I texted you back saying that I might need to take a nap. But the point where I was pretty much at the halfway point of the movie.
Okay.
And that was kind of a good intermission point.
What is that? Is that right when Shuri becomes the new Black Panther, or is it a little after, or a little before that? I can't remember where the halfway point lies.
Yeah, it is roughly right around the point when Shuri gets taken to Talakan.
Oh, okay. Wow, so way
Yeah.
before what I thought it was. Okay.
Yep.
I've
Also,
no sense of
spoiler
time.
for the movie.
Right, whatever. Who cares? It's available streaming. I think it's maybe even on DVD at this point.
Probably.
You know what you're getting when you listen to this show. We're just going to talk about stuff.
That's true. Although, I had managed to go this long without knowing that, so,
That, without knowing that Shuri was the new Black Panther?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you have any guesses as to who it might be?
I mean, I was going to guess her, yeah.
Well, sure. I actually think it would have been awesome if it had been Angela Bassett. That would have been amazing.
That would have been great. So part of my review here is that a lot of my opinion of this is colored by the fact that Letitia Wright is not a great person.
Yeah, there were several points where, while I was watching this tonight, I was like, I wonder if she ever got vaccinated. I wonder if that ever happens.
I looked her up on Wikipedia after watching the movie, and just I wanted to get my facts straight.
Sure.
And
you did your research.
I try, a little bit, the bare minimal. She has never confirmed it. I am guessing that the Disney machine went to work to shut her the hell up.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
Yeah, because she's she's not denied that she had previously posted anti-vax propaganda early on in the shooting of this movie and in the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But also has kind of an attitude about it too, so makes me feel like some lawyers stepped up and said, be quiet.
I mean, in her quote unquote defense, she's a child.
Yeah, she is very young.
She's an idiot. I mean, kids are stupid.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's just she is young, but old enough to know better. Part of it is, she is apparently fairly religious, which, just everything combined there just really distracted me from the fact that her character in this movie is, super pro-science.
Right.
And comes off fairly anti-faith, anti-tradition.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't realize that she in real life was a religious person. So yeah, that is an interesting contrast to Shuri in the movie.
And of course, by all means, if you find a path in your life that involves the church or a faith, good for you, whatever works, I guess.
Yeah.
But also keep it to yourself.
I mean, I would asterisk good for you with as long as you're not hurting anyone else.
Yes, yeah. And I would say sharing anti-vax propaganda at a time when it was very harmful to do so is hurting other people. So
yeah, I would agree with you there.
Especially since her character from the first movie was a standout and probably was a role model for a lot of young women, who needed to see someone like that in a movie.
Yeah.
And then to find the actress to be kind of the polar opposite of it is disheartening for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's sort of, I had the same thought, the I wonder if she got vaccinated thought when I saw, because I did go see Quantumania last week, and Evangeline Lilly was also someone who had, I think, like attended or an anti-vax rally or something.
Ooh.
So like, but also like Evangeline Lilly is definitely old enough to know better. Like, she's just stupid. Okay,
yeah,
that's fine. But also like her, but also Hope Van Dyne is like a genius.
right.
So yeah, it's dumb people playing smart characters on television.
Yeah, and I mean, they're actors. I get that.
Yeah,
they're characters. But also, I didn't know that about Evangeline Lilly. But also, Hope Van Dyne had almost nothing to do in that movie anyway, so
it's
not
true.
a huge deal.
It's true. The real wasp in that movie is Janet, which is great.
Yeah. We can talk about that later, possibly.
Okay, yeah, let's save that.
But going into this movie, I guess I had some expectations. I guess,
Okay.
just based on my enjoyment of the first movie, obviously, and then everything surrounding it with the passing of Chadwick Boseman.
Right.
That there's definitely some weight coming into this movie for sure.
100%.
I thought for the most part it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's sort of where I land on it as well. Is I feel like they were dealt a really terrible hand.
Yeah.
With Chadwick Boseman having passed away, and they made the best of it that they could, and it's an enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I would say, definitely doesn't hit as hard as the first one does.
Right.
At least just the first one is kind of just incredible, and so much of it rests on Boseman's performance.
Right.
And so without that, like Letitia Wright is fine, but she's not the presence on screen that Chadwick Boseman was.
Yeah.
So it's hard to overcome that.
Like I said in the first movie, she turns in kind of a standout role, but it is entirely in support of Boseman's performance, as T'Challa.
Yeah.
And she just does not have the charisma or the commanding presence that he does. And she tries, but you and I, I'm not going to say we are comfortable with our emotions, but we are definitely very emotional men who at times cannot control those emotions.
Yeah, I would say I'm comfortable with my emotions, or at least I'm comfortable with the fact that I have them.
Yes. I guess comfortable is not exactly the right word that I'm looking for there, but just we are sensitive human beings.
Yes, very much so.
And sometimes they come out awkwardly, but we do tend to own them. So I guess that is comfort to a point.
Yeah, I think so.
And not to get too personal or too into detail, but things in this movie have affected you in particular, and both of us in general. And I feel like because of that, this movie should have a more emotional impact, and it really didn't. At least not for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way that T'Challa's death is handled is, and when I say the way it's handled, I mean the way that it sort of plays out on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Is I mean, it's not bad. It's the best they could do.
Right.
Without Chadwick Boseman there. So I mean, it lacks a lot of the impact that it would have had had he been there to film things for it. Though of course, if he'd been there to film things for it, they wouldn't have done it anyway.
Right.
But I mean, I get why they did it that way, and it's grounded in Shuri and her her reaction to the events leading up to it, and then obviously to his death. But it also felt really rushed to me. Like it's this unexplained thing that they're just like, well, we don't have T'Challa anymore. How can we sort of usher him off screen relatively quickly in the beginning and then move on to the real story,
Right.
which I think is a little disappointing. So it's like I said, it's a tough hand. Like it's such a hard position to be in. I thought the part at the end, that was the part at the end where Shuri sort of mourns him finally. Was the part that really got me. Like that, I just was a mess.
Are you talking like basically like the very end, like just before the credits? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but before the credits and then the mid-credits scene also completely destroyed me.
Okay, then I 100% agree. That is the part that hit me the hardest. Also, oddly, just the Marvel logo coming up with just the pictures of Chadwick Boseman also kind of hit me hard too.
Yeah,
but like just throughout the movie, like we're supposed to be, understanding these characters' grief, and yet I didn't feel any of that from anyone, honestly. Like,
yeah,
Angela Bassett came the closest to being able to portray that on screen. Also, speaking of distracting, she is just distractingly beautiful. And it was just at times hard to pay attention to anything else other than just how hauntingly awesome she looks.
She does look amazing. Like she is completely gorgeous.
But like, she won the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress for this, I think.
Oh, did she? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was one of those, like, I was just flipping through channels and just happened to catch it as it was airing. And, I thought she was fine. I don't know. It's a large movie with a lot of moving parts. Part of it is, having to deal with the loss of their, lead character. But like I thought mostly she was just fine. Like everything in this movie is like just fine.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just like a Disney Marvel thing. They have to keep the machine moving.
There's definitely a lot of machinery in this.
And like, I don't know. It's weird to feel nostalgic about older Marvel movies.
I know exactly what you mean.
But it does feel like more and more they all are just following a template and got to hit the marks and get the job done, and not have a ton of personality. And I feel like I feel like there is a good portion of this movie that could have been like this really sort of touching, tribute to Chadwick Boseman and T'Challa, that gets tempered by the fact that we still have to have an action beat every 15 minutes. We have to introduce this plot thread that may play through 4 other movies in the future, etc., etc.
Right.
And then introducing this new problematic Black Panther.
I mean, she's not problematic in the movie. I guess, though, she is sort of problematic in the movie, isn't she?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I did have the thought, I remember thinking the first time I saw it, like, what if at the end of this Shuri is a villain? Like, that would have been kind of amazing.
That would have been. I think a point that I was trying to hit on a little bit earlier that I just lost the thread on was that I was kind of hoping that Lupita Nyong'o's character was going to become the new Black Panther.
Yeah. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, like, I fully support that. But then, the little twist at the end was it actually kind of, like, like I said, those 2 end scenes, kind of wrecked me.
Yeah.
But I also laughed a little bit when they revealed the twist.
Yeah.
Just because that does absolutely feel like Marvel machinery saying, okay, we got a backup plan now.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Like, we can age this kid up somehow, right?
Right, yeah.
Something about the quantum realm. Maybe he gets stuck there and he ages a bunch and then he comes back.
Kang, he's a time guy.
It's true, yeah, he hits him with the time ray or something and makes him older.
He's coming, so no.
Oh, man.
I think another aspect of this that was slightly disappointing was that, with the loss of Chadwick Boseman, like, this movie then becomes very heavily female-led.
Right.
More so than, like, I would say most every other Marvel movie, even Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess it seemed to just sort of fall short of that potential that was there, I guess. But that just may be me, so.
Yeah, well, I think, again, it sort of has to do with the presences in the room. Like, Angela Bassett controls whatever room she's in. Yeah. And I feel like Okoye, is that Denai Guerrera's character? Yes. I feel like Okoye has, to a lesser extent, does sort of a similar thing where she's just in control of whatever scene she's in.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Letitia Wright, again, is just not the same kind of presence on screen.
Right.
Dominique Thorne, I thought, was great as Riri.
Yeah, I enjoyed her.
Yeah, she's not a commanding presence, but I thought she was a lot of fun.
Right.
Which is what I think of when I think of that character. I don't have a ton of experience with that character, but I feel like in my head she's just like a fun genius girl.
Yeah, I've never read a single Ironheart comic, so yeah.
Yeah. She was in a Champions run that I read, and she was entertaining in that.
The Wade run.
No, was she in that? I guess she was. Yeah, so she was in that, and then she was also the run that followed it, the Jim Zub, Stephen Cummings run that I really enjoyed. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just talking in circles.
It's fine. That's what we do here.
That is what we do here. Well-oiled machine.
I mean, almost 25 minutes in, and we haven't even mentioned Namor or not Atlantis.
Right. Talokan. You mentioned Talokan earlier.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you know about Namor? What you know about Namor? Oh, should I do that? No, I shouldn't do that. I'm sorry.
Well, I am a deranged human being, and
It's true. We both are.
what I know about Namor is actually quite a lot.
Okay.
He is half man, or half human, half Atlantean. I think he has a real name. I can't think of it offhand, but it's like just a normal dude name like Arthur Curry.
Is it Imperious Rex?
It is not.
No. Okay.
I will say I rolled my eyes when he does say that in this movie.
I loved it. I loved that part. That was fine. That was fine with me. That's his. It's clobbering time.
Yeah. I know he is the first mutant, as he is apparently in this movie as well.
He says the word mutant. Oh my god.
He does. Oh man. Makes me really glad that I have everything Marvel related muted on Twitter. Because I cannot imagine what the fuck happened after this movie initially came out.
Yeah, I don't remember if anything happened. I've apparently done a pretty good job of filtering that stuff out of my timeline as well. I do really appreciate that he's the first big screen MCU mutant. Like,
yeah.
That feels like a nice nod to history.
Definitely better than Kamala Khan's retcon, so,
Right,
yeah. Which, I mean, it's fine, whatever, but just that was definitely an eye-rolling moment, too, so.
Yeah. And I guess Scarlet Witch also sort of maybe retconned into a mutant. Who knows?
Yeah, well, the comic character has been retconned to not be a mutant. So
I thought, was she retconned into back into being a mutant recently? I don't know.
I don't know. Fuck the X-Men. Call me when they're off of a fucking island and back into like being a school again.
Okay, I will give you a call.
Thanks. Tell me when Professor X is not wearing the Mad Thinker's headgear.
Fair enough. He needed a costume.
No, he didn't.
That's true. His bald head is his costume.
His bald head, and you know what? The flying wheelchair was fine.
Right.
Nobody wants to see Professor X walking around in skin-tight black spandex.
But he's pulling it off. Let me tell you. He looks good. Who do you think they'll get to play Professor X in the skin-tight black suit in the MCU?
Jason Statham.
I hope Doug Jones. I actually, as I was saying it, I was like, this is a joke. But no, actually, I think that'd be really cool.
I can see it. It's funny, I've been rewatching What We Do in the Shadows lately, and in the first season, Doug Jones is the Baron. So I've just seen him recently, and I think
nice.
He can pull it off, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, Namor.
Yeah. I really liked Namor in this movie.
I did too. Yeah.
I especially enjoyed. I like the fact that it wasn't Atlantis, and that they seem to put some thought into the underwater kingdom and making it very similar to Wakanda in a way, down to like similar mythologies, but playing out differently.
I thought
clever.
The parallels between Wakanda and Talokan were really interesting, and sort of the impact that the outside world had on Talokan versus not had on Wakanda was an interesting aspect of it, and very very sort of Killmonger-esque. Driven home again by his appearance towards the end of the movie.
Right.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the. I felt like I feel like Namor in comics doesn't really have much of a personality. At least he hasn't in the comics that I've read that he's in. So it was nice that he had a personality in this movie.
I mean, his personality has generally been arrogant and just very foul-tempered. It's honestly weird that he's ever been a hero or on the Avengers when he has tried to kill so many of them.
Right?
But also, I like that about Namor.
Maybe I just never connected with that about him. Being such a humble and even-tempered person that I am. I have nothing in common with comic book Namor. but no, I thought Tina Huerta, is that the actor's name? I think that plays him.
That's how I would probably pretend to pronounce it.
But yeah, I thought he did a really good job bringing personality to what has always sort of felt to me like a one-note character.
Right. Yeah, I thought. I guess going into this, I thought he would just be sort of just a generic villain. But he was pretty sympathetic, honestly, and
yeah,
I enjoyed his overall arc. And even at the end, just sort of revealing his kind of master plan. It'll be interesting to see, where he pops up again and how he's handled in those aspects too.
Yeah, definitely.
That is, if I ever feel like watching another Marvel movie ever again, which
oh no,
it's up in the air.
Do we need to talk about Quantumania now?
No, not just yet. It's fine.
Okay.
But I will say, I don't know what number movie Quantumania is, but after so many of them, I definitely feel like I'm fatigued.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
But it's honestly the same thing with event fatigue in comics. After a while, I just stopped giving a shit about the mainstream books, and I just want to read like the weird one-offs and just find the one series that I like. And if I have to read 4 other series in order to understand something that happens in another, then I'm out.
Yeah, that's definitely where I am with Marvel Comics.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel the same way about both arms of the machine at this point.
Yeah.
I don't really read any Marvel books that are coming out. My comic shipment came in this past week. I had the Doctor Strange False Sunrise series in it. And I had like an issue, the Bishop issue of X-Men Legends.
Okay.
2 completely disconnected books from like the mainstream, anything that's happening in the Marvel books now. And that's just kind of the way I prefer it,
Yeah. The only Marvel book that I read semi-regularly is Daredevil. And that, again, is largely disconnected from everything else that's going on.
Right. I mean, it's weird. I love Daredevil. He's definitely in a top 5 Marvel characters for me, and I like Chip Zdarsky a lot, but I just have not felt the need to read any Daredevil series in the last 10 years.
Wow. Okay.
I think Andy Diggle was the last writer that I remember reading on Daredevil.
You didn't even get to the Wade stuff? Holy shit, man.
No, wait. Okay, yeah, I did do the Wade stuff. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew, okay. Okay.
Relax.
Charles Soule wasn't enough to get you to stick around.
I hadn't really read anything by him at that point that grabbed me. This is definitely before. I don't think he had written She-Hulk yet. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think he had at that point.
I did like his She-Hulk series that he did. But I kind of prefer his stuff with Ryan Brown, honestly. Curse words and 8 billion genies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed Soul's Star Wars stuff lately.
Right.
I'm woefully behind on it, but I do plan to catch up on it at some point.
That's always the way with comics, though.
That really is the story of my comic reading life.
I discovered that I missed an entire issue of the Nightwing run. And like when I was in the hospital, I definitely missed a few issues of stuff that came out. But this came out well after I had been released and was back to trying to catch up on books, and I don't know how it happened.
Oh no!
It was the Night Might issue. And,
oh no!
Yeah, that. So I finally read it this past week, and that may be like my favorite issue of a comic that's come out in the past year.
That one is so good.
It really is.
Have you read the new issue of World's Finest from this week yet?
Yes, the Robin Supergirl date.
Yes.
Yep.
I really love that one too.
Yeah. I liked it because it sets up Robin's taste for alien ladies.
It does. It's true.
Wakanda forever.
Yes, Wakanda forever. Or 2 hours and 43 minutes, Wakanda.
It sometimes felt like forever.
I like, it did feel long, but I also, like, usually when a movie is really long, I try and figure out, like, well, what could they have cut?
Right.
And I don't know what they would have cut out of this movie to make it shorter, other than maybe the whole sequence where they take Shuri to Talokan, but that's also really important.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Everything here felt essential to me. Except maybe Riri Williams.
Yeah, but her she sort of sparks off the plot of the movie though. So
it's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. God damn it. Okay.
I would honestly say, as much as I like him, the Everett Ross stuff could have been cut.
Okay. Yeah. All the stuff with him and Val,
Dreyfus,
definitely.
Who still flabbergasts me that she is now in the Marvel movies.
It's so weird.
Yep.
And she's just playing Selena Meyer again, which is fine with me.
Is that her character from Veep?
Yes.
Okay. I watched only a couple episodes of Veep. But I don't know. It's interesting that she's essentially playing a S.H.I.E.L.D. villain.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's whatever. It's still setting up more shit that's gonna possibly pay off in the future. So
right, Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Which I've already forgotten about and who's in it other than Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
I think Bucky's in it. It's not really Thunderbolts. It's Suicide Squad basically.
Well, sure, yeah. They gotta replace James Gunn somehow.
That's true. That is true.
But yeah, I don't know. This is, I guess, middle of the road for me for as far as Marvel movies go. Like, there are some really effective parts, but for the most part, it was just okay.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much where I land with it as well. Like, it's not bad at all.
Right.
It's not, like I said, doesn't sort of reach the heights of the first one, but it was entertaining to watch, and it didn't make me mad that I watched it. So that's a solid C+ from me.
Yeah, all right. I'd give it
Which
a
is
B
the best grade I can give.
Okay, that's fair. What's the worst grade you could give?
Oh gosh, C minus. Maybe.
Wow.
It's harsh.
Firmly an average.
That's right. No, I've been known to give things an F.
All right.
Yeah, it happens. Very rarely, but it happens.
I'd give Ant-Man Quantumania a D minus.
Oh no! So you hated it?
Oh boy, did I ever.
What'd you hate about it?
Nothing about what is appealing of the previous two Ant-Man movies was present in this one.
That is 100% accurate.
Aside from that, it was entirely taking place in a mishmash CG rubber world that had no consistency and no fucking rules, and anything could happen, and why did I give a shit?
All right. Yeah, also 100% accurate. Yeah, you've yet to say anything that I disagree with. But I really enjoyed it.
Your mileage may vary. I fell asleep a couple times while watching it in the theater.
All right.
I just could not wait for it to end. It was excruciating to me.
So I have a really important question to ask you.
Alrighty.
What did you think of MODOK?
Hated it.
No.
Yep.
No. What'd you hate about MODOK?
The way he looked, mostly.
All right.
Just sub Windows 98 graphics. Sega CD bullshit.
I've heard other people complain about the way that MODOK looks too, and it worked for me. Like, of course it looks fucking stupid. It's MODOK. He's a giant head with arms and legs.
Listen, I love MODOK. They just did it poorly. It was the cheapest looking bullshit that I've ever seen, and we watched Wonder Woman 84.
Maybe I was just like, whenever MODOK was on screen, I was laughing, basically. Like I could not control myself. Like part of it is, can you believe that fucking MODOK is in a movie in the year of our Lord 2023? And also, this fucking MODOK is awesome. So maybe my my expectations for MODOK were what I wanted out of seeing MODOK in a movie was different from what other people wanted.
I guess so. I mean, I didn't even know MODOK was going to be in it.
Oh, wow.
I went into this movie knowing absolutely nothing other than it was an Ant-Man movie and that Kang was being introduced as the villain.
That's awesome.
I had never seen a trailer. I had not heard a thing about it. Did not know MODOK was going to be a character in it, let alone the version of MODOK that we got, which, you know what? Totally fine with that.
Yeah, I actually really liked that.
Yeah. When he does actually first show up and he's basically got a mask on, 1,000% okay with that.
Yeah.
But when he takes off the mask and it's just Corey Stoll's stretched out face, poorly mapped onto a CGI robot body, I just said, fuck this movie. But that's not fair because I had already said fuck this movie long before he showed up. So.
Had Bill Murray showed up before that point, I think?
He did, yes. I don't know that I had given up on the movie yet, but I was definitely feeling a lot of distaste at that point.
Gotcha. Okay.
And also wondering, well, why the fuck is Bill Murray in this movie?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yep.
I don't get that. But okay. Whatever. I'm sorry to hear you didn't enjoy Quantum Mania.
It's okay. I really liked Jonathan Majors as Kang. I thought he was pretty great in it. And I really liked the butch lesbian barbarian chick.
She was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the her and the little goo guy I really liked.
I did not like the goo guy.
You didn't like the goo guy?
I did not like the goo guy.
What about Cheaty from The Good Place? Did you like him?
Nope.
God damn it!
Yeah, I was mostly just distracted by trying to remember where I knew him from.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And then, halfway through, finally figuring out that, it's Cheaty from The Good Place.
Oh, he was in Midsummer. That's right.
Yeah, yep, that too.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Phase 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe not getting off to a strong start for you.
Not really. I mean, and honestly, Phase 4 didn't do a ton for me. I guess I liked the majority of them, but they also just were all very average to above average.
Yeah.
I think I liked Doctor Strange and Thor the most out of all of those, and then everything else was just kind of run of the mill. And Eternals was bottom of the barrel.
Right.
And I'm still trying to debate within myself, did I like Eternals better or worse than Ant-Man?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Because at least I can look at Eternals and say, well, Camille and Johnny was kind of funny in it.
Yeah.
And
they were going for something there. They were trying a thing.
Yeah.
That movie has a distinct point of view.
Yeah. There's some, rules to it somewhat. Everything seemed fairly consistent with its own logic. So I guess maybe I do like it better than Ant-Man.
All right.
You heard
Point
it here
to
first.
Eternals, finally.
I mean, it's still a terrible fucking movie.
Oh, man. All right. Is anything making you happy this week?
I got the okay from my physical therapist today that I can start bearing full weight on my foot again.
Nice. That's fantastic.
Still have to use a walker because I am not stable. But he said that I can walk around my house without it to just strengthen up, I guess.
Yay!
And I'm still going to use my wheelchair, like if I have to go shopping or anything like that. But for the most part, I am allowed to walk again.
That's excellent news.
I have a podiatrist appointment at the end of next month. So that's gonna sort of determine what direction I go in after that. But for the moment, I'm doing okay.
Yay!
And that was some pretty good news. Also, earlier this week, I discovered that I could search a Word document and bold certain words, and that made me really happy too.
You know what? That is exciting. Is that might be more exciting than the walking news? No, I don't think so.
Honestly, I mean, I was really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on both fronts.
Thank you. Oh, what about you, sir?
I will on the foot front. I have been given the go ahead to start to transition out of wearing a boot.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
so I did a little bit of driving on
Oh.
Tuesday. I know, it's exciting. Like I took the boot with me so I could put it on when I got to where I was going.
Yeah.
Which I went to Mavericks, obviously.
I was gonna
Uh,
wonder. I mean, no, I
yeah,
wasn't wondering. I kind of figured.
yeah, naturally. But yeah, I can at least it's still the muscle is definitely sore and weak. So I don't feel great driving long distances, but just a little short around town. I'm sort of back. So
That's
hopefully
good.
next time we do this, we'll be in person.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be really
Uh,
nice.
yeah. Um, did you remember how to drive?
So I did remember how to drive.
That's good.
The weird thing was when I put a shoe on
Uh huh.
after not wearing a shoe for like 2 months. That felt real fucking weird.
Right.
Like just figuring out what a shoe feels like again was very strange.
I've yeah, I went about 2 months without wearing a shoe as well, and when I started wearing it again, it took me a bit to be like, oh yeah, this is what this is like.
Right.
And even now, it's still just like, it's still a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah, like the amount of heel support that I had was really shocking. I don't know, that was the thing that it's like it almost threw me completely off balance. Like my whole foot felt lopsided. It was so strange.
Right.
So
Well, I'm
not
glad
going to do that for a while.
That's fine. Uh, go shoeless like a damn hippie, I guess.
Damn right. That's why they call me Shoeless Joe. Hello.
I'm here.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Just quietly laughing to myself.
So yeah, that's the thing that made me happy this week, I think.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it, and hopefully we can hang out in person again soon.
Yeah.
Just walking around like a couple of jackasses.
Yep, that's us.
Can I take a moment to talk about an anti-joy for a second?
So yes, tell me what's bringing you seething hatred this week.
So I mentioned that I went to my girlfriend's house and we watched a movie yesterday. I had actually not been to her house since before I went to the hospital, so it had been a while. And I forgot that she has motion smoothing set on her TV.
No!
And she also does not know where the real remote to the TV is. She just uses the Roku remote. And we watched a movie last night, and the entire thing looked like a terrible fucking soap opera. And like the movie itself was fine. Would have enjoyed it much better if it looked like a movie and not like a cheap fucking play on PBS.
That's awful.
Motion smoothing is a crime.
Again, you're not wrong. The only time that I can think of that I've watched something with motion smoothing was Jenny and I were visiting friends in Cleveland, and we watched Masters of the Universe with motion smoothing.
The Dolph Lundgren movie?
Yes, the Dolph Lundgren, Courtney Cox, Frank Langella classic.
Yes.
And it looked so fucking weird. And this was before I knew what motion smoothing, like, that it was a thing. So I was like, why does it look so weird? Like, do you just have a really good TV? What's happening here? I feel like they're in the room. It was horrible.
I have seen it on a few people's televisions. My parents had it when they first got like a flat screen, and the first opportunity that I had, I turned it off. An ex-girlfriend of mine, her roommate had it on her TV, and I could never change it. But then there was a week where her roommate like went out of town, and I took that opportunity to turn that shit off.
Was that a TV that you used regularly, or just you knew it was on and you couldn't stand it?
No, yeah, we never watched anything on that TV. But every time I would come over, like the roommate would be watching something on it because it was like in the living room, and I would notice it, and it would just infuriate me. But that's
amazing.
How much I hate it is that I would change it on a TV I would never watch.
You're the hero that Gotham needs. Really, that's what this means. You're amazing. Thank you so much for your service.
You're very welcome. Our friend Jason has it on his TV.
Oh God.
I tried to tell him about it, and he's like, "Hey, it looks fine." And, yep, that was the end of that.
Oh man,
I recently got a new to me TV, and the first thing I did was check to see if there was motion smoothing on it, and there was not. Not
nice.
even an option. So I guess TV makers have learned their lesson, hopefully.
Oh boy.
But yeah, it's man, it really bothered me last night, and I've been keeping it pent up. I just had to get it out.
Thank you for sharing that with me. I feel really special that you would share that with me.
You're very welcome. You are,
and the listeners.
And if I can't open up to you, who can I open up to?
It's true. That's very true.
Do you have a movie we can watch next week?
You know, it occurred to me about 5 minutes ago that I needed to pick a movie for next week.
Oh, well, it's a good thing I told that motion smoothing story.
It is actually a really good thing. Thank you so much for that. So, have you watched Don't Worry, Darling yet?
Oh, I have not. I don't really have an interest in it, but I guess we'll watch it.
Yeah. No, that's okay. If you're not interested, I'm okay with that. Have you watched? I know we had talked about this as a potential movie for the show. Have you watched See How They Run yet?
I have not.
Would you like to watch that for next week?
Yes, I would like to watch that. But we can do Don't Worry, Darling.
No, I'll save that one. I'll keep that one in my back pocket.
Okay, all right. Then yeah, See How They Run. That sounds good.
Excellent. Yeah, that one I don't know a ton about it. I just thought it looked like fun, and it's got people that I like in it, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
And you mentioned wanting to watch it, so here we are. I'm flying by the seat of my pants.
That's what happens here on The Viewmasters.
That's right. Good night, everybody. Oh, I should stop recording.
Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters.
You can subscribe to the show directly at view.guttertrash.net or at iTunes and leave us a review. Visit view.guttertrash.net for email information and links to Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time on The Viewmasters.